Hey, what's up everybody? So, this content is going to be very different, very off the cuff. I am currently at PDX awaiting my flight out to Burbank, California to attend KeebLife 2024 this year. I unfortunately didn't make it here in enough time to have my pre-flight stout, but I did make it here in enough time to thankfully not have an accident in the car. Unfortunately, I was in such a hurry, I wasn't really able to get any footage of the freshly renovated main entryway area for PDX. So maybe at the end of this video, I'll get some footage up there for you. Anyway, enough chat. I'm going to get ready to board my flight, and then once we get to California, I'll tell you a little bit more about what's going on with KeebLife. And we are checked in. So, for this year's KeebLife, I'm staying at the Hotel Dina. This is literally right next door to the venue, so I figured it was just largely a matter of convenience. It's about 17 miles or so away from Burbank, which is the airport I chose to fly into. Regardless of whether or not the flight would have been cheaper, I do not like flying into LAX whatsoever. That is a god-awful airport to navigate. But let's talk a little bit more about what KeebLife is for those of you who are maybe uninitiated or just generally unaware. KeebLife is a major keyboard meetup that occurs once a year. This year, I believe there's something to the tune of 400 plus folks that are going to be attending from all across the country and showing off their keyboards, checking out other keyboards, and getting to interact with some vendors up close and personal. More importantly, KeebLife serves as a charity event, this year raising $23,000 for Homeboy Industries. I'll have some links down in the video's description so you can learn more about this awesome organization and the great work they do. This will personally be my first year attending, so I want to make sure I can really take it all in, and I will be recording my time on the show floor as well to give you all an idea of what a major event like this looks like in the keyboard community. Now, I of course do have my own keyboards to bring. There was a limit of 2 boards per person, no desk mats, just to make sure they saved on some space. Apologies for the sound of the AC in the background. I am not shutting it off. It's hot out today. But I decided to bring my 2 stacked acrylic keyboards. I imagine these probably won't be too popular on the show floor. Both of these are made by SM Keyboards. I should have some links down in the video's description so you can go and check those folks out. Makes really outstanding stacked acrylic keyboards. And this particular board that we're focused on right now is a little project that I'm working on with SM. Still working out some of the finer points, have to figure out a design for the bottom, but this is a stacked acrylic O-ring mount, 60%, with an FR4 plate, HMX Blue Topaz linears, Stupid stabilizers, and GMK Honeywell circa 2022. The other board is one we've not talked about in our videos in a minute, and it's due its own content piece, but this is my Sneakbox Ava that I also got a stacked acrylic case made for, with a copper plate this time. I did the patina work on this myself. Even after all this time, it is still looking beautiful. And we have this equipped with Milky Way Voynich keycaps as well as the matched Hibby Artisan to go with it. Now, the switch that's being used here, something of a Franken switch that I put together recently. I'm calling them Sherry linears. I should have some specs on the screen for you right now, as well as a little bit of B-roll of what this switch looks like. At first glance, you would be forgiven for mistaking this for a Cherry MX Red. So if you're watching this post KeebLife and you were wondering who brought these boards, now you know. Now some of you out there are probably asking yourself, how exactly did you get those keyboards out there without them being damaged? Well, it started off a little something like this. These are the cases that I brought these boards in. This is my Space Cables case from my Stellar 65. This was used to transport the Deco 60 here. And then this case is for my Swag Keys Transition Light, and that happened to be a perfect fit for the Ava here. All this plastic was put inside to sort of cushion the top lid for the case, and then because these are built in stacked acrylic and there's a bit of a gap underneath them, I also set a little bit of plastic underneath the boards inside the case to make sure that when you did a shake test, they essentially weren't moving, but were also cushioned. For this case, I also had to put in my Canon keys polishing rag to make sure that we were taking up all the rest of the space in here so that there wasn't any side-to-side movement. And I am very happy to report that both boards arrived completely unscathed. Also brought a bit of a toolkit with me just in case, just the basics. I didn't bring actual lube, but I did bring a brush just in case that ends up being needed for whatever reason. Combo keycap puller, switch puller, plate fork, proper switch puller, and then just the rest of my iFixit kit. But this should be good enough just in case something comes up with a board while we're in the middle of the KeebLife thing. I also brought this. This is a Loom Keeb's switch container with a little sticker I put on the top, kind of apropos for what's contained inside. These are 108 glorious Fox linears that I rebrushed myself, and I brought these for a friend of mine who has been wanting to try these switches out, and they'll be here at KeebLife, so I'm just gonna hand it off to them when I see them. Anyway, it's lunchtime and we's hungry, so we're gonna grab a bite to eat, and I'll get back to you a little bit later. And we are suddenly on the day of KeebLife. Yesterday after lunch, it turned into a whole day of exploration for me. I wound up walking to a lot of different spots around the area. I ate and drank my ass off. It was wild. Found a couple of spots that I think I'm definitely going to be visiting again next time I'm out this way. Anyway, when I was walking past the convention center, it wasn't even 11 o'clock yet, and I already saw a couple of folks out front posted up for the early check-in for KeebLife. So I have the sneaking suspicion this is going to be a pretty sick event this year. Anyway, I'm actually heading out the door right now, so yeah, let's head over there. One thing I didn't really capture in my footage was the deep sense of community present throughout this event. From conversations with vendors, artisan makers, even manufacturing partners, to chats with content creators and other fellow enthusiasts we haven't seen all year. It was wonderful to see so many people engaged in not only the hobby, but in the connections we've made through this hobby of loud rectangles. And wow, there are some talented builders out there with some absolutely insane keyboards. It was really cool to get some FaceTime with brands I've talked with online for some time now, including the folks at mechanicalkeyboards.com, who are longtime supporters of the channel and who are getting ready to launch Point 65, an in-stock 65% that I think is going to turn some heads.
There was also an insane presence from the artisan community, with several tables dedicated to just artisan keycap collections. The spread some of us had was mind-blowing, and represented yet another unique niche within a niche that lets us enjoy this hobby in our own way. If there's one tip I have for folks who have never been to KeebLife before, it's the following. Be prepared for sensory overload. There's a lot of keyboards and people in a single conference room full of conversations and other keyboard sounds. Take advantage of being able to step outside for a moment to collect yourself so you can get back to it. Many folks there did just this, including the event staff. If you're particularly sensitive to elevated audio levels, earplugs might also be advisable. Attending this event was absolutely worth it, and if you're interested in attending next year, I highly recommend you join the KeebLife Discord server, linked in the video's description, to get all the latest updates on KeebLife and other adjacent events, as well as getting connected with a large group of other keyboard enthusiasts and creators. Anyway, I'll let you get back to enjoying the rest of the B-roll while I get back to finishing up the office and making more content again. Take care of yourselves and one another, and enjoy the rest of my KeebLife footage.